Hello and welcome to the Philippines. This is a ferry trip from Cebu City, actually, from Cebu, southern Cebu, over to Dumaguete, off in the distance over there. If you can see the island. And in this video, I'm tell you a little bit about this specific ferry trip. Going to tell you a little more about ferry trips in general, with so many islands. If you're here very long, you're probably going to take a ferry trip. And there are many different ferry companies, different ferry types and sizes and prices. This is a roll-on, roll-off, which means freight rolls on, rolls off. We back in on this big ramp, and motorbikes, trucks, cars, automobiles, and pretty much anything you can get on there. And they try to even out the weight. I'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. I'm also going to show you the hotel I stayed in, a relatively newer one in Dumaguete. Dumaguete has lots of choices there, options. Anyway, if you bring a motorbike, all those things need to be fastened down, and these guys, a lot of the people who take their vehicles on here, they will actually stay in their vehicle, back of a pickup, sit in the car, the pickup, the truck. There are two or more ferry ports on the south end of Cebu Island. I will show you a map with that information towards the end of this video as well. They've got hooks to secure various types of cargoes there, as well as wood blocks, and here they're going to tie off the motorbikes altogether. So they don't move too far. And then that ramp has a motorized pulley system to pull that up when they're ready to go. And this is Liloan Port, not to be confused with Liloan City town in the north of Cebu City. And all the passengers sit. There's three levels there. The level I'm on, one level up, and the third level. I'm going to take you up to the third level and show you what goes on and the type of seating that's available. Different ferries have different types of seating. There are some ferries, especially the fast ferries, that have even a business class, which more comfortable seating, more distance between the seats, and might be worth looking into. Depends on where you're going. There were three of us on this trip. JR from JRC Visa Consultancy and Immigration Services. I've done several interviews with him. And there's a bathroom here. I'm going to show you how you need to think about this and decide. A lot of these CRs, comfort rooms, bathrooms, toilets, do not have a flush, and they do not have a seat. So you figure out how you're going to do that. And here's a map right here showing do not sit, do not squat. There are squat toilets in various places in Asia. I think Japan has mostly squat toilets. I witnessed them in China about 20 years ago, even in brand new apartment building. Do not squat on the seat. You might fall off. I was told that in China, McDonald's tried to put in Western style toilets, and people were squatting on that bowl and falling off and hurting themselves, so they went back to the squat toilet. And a special note to ladies, please remain seated for the entire performance. Please don't be moving around, jumping off before you're done. And to use that bucket of water to flush the toilet, you fill your bucket and you dump it a couple times to flush that. And pretty steep stairs, so something to get used to, be aware of. Also, the cost of this ferry was, I think, about 1,200 pesos. That included the car and 3 passengers. When you pay for the car, that includes 1 passenger, and then we paid a little bit more for each of the other 2 passengers. And this is the type of seating. It's comfortable enough. This is about a 35 minute trip, and this ferry runs about every hour and a half, I believe. They've got two ferries run back and forth, I think. And they've got another ferry up the west side a ways called Bato Port, and it takes you a little bit further north of Dumaguete, and then you need to take a bus or jeepney down from there if you're traveling. But this is what you get: a bigger truck in the middle, um, and the cars they try to even out the weight somewhat, which is good. This ferry will drop us off in Cebu, I think it's called, just north of Dumaguete City, and it's about a 10-minute drive into the city. There are some ferries that actually go right into, there's a pier right there in Dumaguete. Coqueleon and a few others go directly in there. We had about a 3-hour drive down to the south from Cebu City down to Santander in the South Liloan Port. 3-hour drive started about 4:30 in the morning. And there are ferries that go directly to Dumaguete out of Cebu City, and I think presently, this can change over time. But the fast ferry actually goes over to Tagbilaran City, Bohol, has a short stop there, and then goes on to Dumaguete from there. And then I think Coqueleon, I think they've got ferries that leave at midnight. They've got bunks where you can lay down and sleep, and shows up 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, about 6 hour trip. The larger the ferry in general has more options, and some even have cabins to use, a little more comfortable cabins for several people, and each ferry company will have different costs depending upon how far you're going, that type of thing. Some ferries will have even perhaps a restaurant. To Go is a big ferry company, runs I think for 24 hours. They run from Cebu City up to Manila, or Manila to Cebu City. This ferry has all open seating, not air conditioned. There are ferries with air conditioned areas. They might have both open air and air conditioned seating, as well as business class. Depends on the ferry. If you plan on traveling during high travel times, during the holidays, Easter, Christmas, Sinulog, you need to buy your tickets early because these things can fill up very quickly. Here's the room I stayed in, and then the route that we took. We stayed in M.Y. Hotel, about 2 blocks from the boulevard along the ocean. And interesting place, colorful as you can see. Got a pool on the roof, and 2 cafes. Had a buffet up on the top, and another cafe that's open many hours during the day. 33 rooms of different types, from a single to a double on up to more deluxe, and they range from about 1,700. I checked online, about 1,700 per night, on up to right around 3,000, I think, for the larger rooms. Everything was nice and colorful, as you can see. The doors and the art and lights on the walls. Going in, it's got an elevator. I was on the 5th floor, and going in here, you can see even on the walls inside, they've got recessed lighting behind these colorful things. Nice size sink. Too many of these hotels have very small sinks, and good size television. I'm not one to watch much television, but I did click through the channels. They had quite a few cable channels, and there is a back behind that blackout curtain. Now this is something you got to get used to. That key card opens your door, and it also, you need to put it in that slot to turn on the electric. Now when you take that out, when you leave, a few seconds after you leave, all the lights and the aircon will go off. And the CR, the sink is outside. Got CR, comfort room, toilet, and with a nice shower. It had hot water, even there's not a hot water in there. They must have central hot water heating, apparently. It's interesting, by touching that little light there in the center of the mirror, lower center, it will change the light. It will turn it off. It will go from white to yellowish and turn it off, and that's your light. I would stay in this place. It was quiet and yeah, clean, and I would stay here again, definitely. Jumping over to Google Earth, which is a free download, which is amazing amount of information. Anyway, we left Cebu City up here, and we drove along the coast. Cebu is a very long island. Came down here, Oslo, that's where they do the whale watching, whale shark watching. And there are, I think, 2 or 3 ports along here that head over. I think the port a little bit further up here heads off maybe to Bohol or Siquijor, and then Liloan Port right down here on the tip, and then there's another port, Bato Port, I think, up here. And you have Dumaguete right here, so you can see you're not very far away. And what I found, I have taken a bus down this side before and taken Bato, and that takes you in further across up here north, and then it's a longer drive into Dumaguete City. And in that case, the bus got off the ferry and we got back on the bus. Liloan Port, and don't confuse it with Liloan north of Cebu City, the town, will take you to Cebulan, I think, something like that, just north of Dumaguete City, and it's like a 10-minute tricycle ride in there. Let's go in here, and this is Santander area. Cebulan is what it's called, and key in here. And here you have Liloan, and you have the Liloan port right here. I think there is another port, Mainit port here, and then you have a port up here called Bato Port, and this is from Tampi Negros, goes over to Bato, and we'll take you over here to Mayo shipping port over here, I guess. We came into Cebulan, I think this port right here probably, that's sticking out into the water. I think we came in here and then took the car on into Dumaguete City. And while we're on this map, there are more and more expats going up here to Valencia, up in the mountains. It's a little bit cooler. Once you go up in elevation, you get a little bit cooler. I've been up here to these sulfur vents, very interesting. Got steam coming out of the side of the mountain right alongside the road. I will put a link up here to one of the past Dumaguete videos I did as well. And anyway, thanks for coming along. Safe travels and fun travels to you all, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time.